Hello everybody, it is Stefan Joubert from the Stefan Joubert Guitar Academy, and I'm going to speak to you today about the 5 crucial questions that you may have in regards to your guitar learning. And I'm just going to answer these questions one by one, and I hope that these questions will help you along your journey. Well, I'm very glad that you've asked that question, because there are so many people out there who feel that they need to be talented in order to learn how to play the guitar. And whilst talent will definitely help you to learn, it's not the be it and end it of it all. Some talent is useful in order for you to progress quickly. However, the vast majority of people have got a natural innate talent for music that just needs to be nurtured. So you would most probably be in the category of having a reasonable talent and having the ability within yourself to learn. So do you need to be super talented to learn? No, you do not need to be super talented to learn. It is true that there are some cases where we have some exceptional talent with certain musicians where they could, for example, pick up the guitar and learn to play at a relatively quick pace and perhaps get to play technical things quite proficiently and quite quickly. And whilst these kind of natural innate abilities exists, and sometimes some people have got more sense for playing quickly than others, if we talk about the realm of playing fast, most of the time, most people have got it within them to be able to learn to play a musical instrument. It's far more important to have outstanding musical education as well as excellent dedication to the instrument in order for you to succeed at playing the guitar or playing any instrument for that matter. So to answer the question about whether you need to be talented, no, you are talented. You've got a lot of talent within you. It's just a matter of getting the right guidance and having enough dedication to practice on a regular basis to be able to become the guitarist that you want to become. So you do not need to be super talented. Most individuals have got more than enough talent within themselves to be able to learn to play properly. Another excellent question. And I understand the doubt in the question. You are doubting yourself because you're learning as an adult how to play. And a lot of the doubt comes because of things that you've heard. Maybe you've heard from friends and family that you've got to learn to play as a child. When you're older, you can't learn to play as well. Your fingers are, not as flexible. And, all of those things are just nonsense, because within yourself, there is extreme ability to be able to learn and play the guitar. Yes, it's true that a child may be able to be more flexible in his hands, and that may be of an advantage. But that's only a little advantage, and it doesn't mean that you can also not over time develop the flexibility and get your muscles to do whatever you need to do to learn how to play the guitar. The crux of the matter is more to do with the dedication of practicing and the dedication of studying in a proper manner and studying in a way that is going to take you from point A to point Z in the shortest amount of time. That's more the issue. So that would include proper education, that would include a great consistent practice plan, that would include getting inspired, and most of all that would include doing this over a number of years. So can you get really good at playing the guitar as an adult learner? You can get extremely good at playing the guitar. You can even become a professional guitar player learning as an adult player, depending on how much time you've got available to practice as well. But the key would be to have the right input and to be consistent and to be dedicated, so you can become really good if you put in the time and the effort required. Thank you for asking that question. Practicing is at the heart of learning to play an instrument. Answering your question in a way that will make sense really depends. It depends on what you want to achieve. If you want to play the guitar for your own pleasure and you just want to, improvise a little bit, just play a little bit around for family, play a few songs, but not really get fantastic at playing the instrument, but comfortable, I would say 15 to 30 minutes a day would be more than enough. If you really want to excel at playing the guitar, I would recommend anything from 60 minutes to 90 minutes a day. And you do not need to practice 7 days a week. If you practice 4 to 5 days a week and you consistently practice for 60 minutes for 4 to 5 times a week with a set schedule and a regimented practice methodology, then you will become really, really good over time. This is especially important for learning the guitar as an adult learner. If you're learning as a teenager and you've got plenty of time, then your practice can be a little bit more creative. You can kind of play around with things, experiment, but if you do only have a set amount of time to work with, then you will need to have a regimented practice schedule and have a methodology, work with an instructor and get the best out of each practice session. Because remember, it's a bit like investing. You get a return on your investment year. Your investment year is time. So what you put into that block of time is what you're going to get out. So if you've got a block of 60 minutes and you just arrive back from work, you put out the guitar, you take it out and you start to jam and just have fun, then you're obviously not going to get as good as someone who gets out the guitar and follows the exact instructions from his or her teacher. So it's important that you follow the instruction from your teacher. It's important that you use that time wisely in a disciplined manner. Now, if you're the type of person who needs to be creative and jam, that is fine. But if within yourself you can stick to a set practice schedule and be regimented about it and do it in a way where you're going to get the best return, that is the way that I would recommend practicing as an adult learner. You can then, during the holiday season or during your off time, use the time to just jam the guitar. But during the week, during the standard quarters of, let's say, a working quarter where you don't have a holiday season and you only have 4 days of 1 hour to practice, I would highly recommend actually filling up that time with disciplined set practice. So that's my advice to you. Another interesting question, and I know people who's asking this question are hoping that I would say it only takes 6 months to learn to play the guitar. And I wish it was that simple. That would be great. But on the other hand, that would also not be great, because it means that people have spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours are not getting any reward for their own learning. So you cannot actually get any result if you're not going to take a long time frame and put in a lot of time over a long time. So what I will say, the question of how long does it take to learn to play the guitar, the best thing you can do with that question, put it on the shelf, go and look for a great guitar instructor or material or anything like that. Go out, buy it, get good education, sit there every day, do your practice every single day. Put that question on the shelf for 2 to 3 years and then come back and ask that question again. Because you will probably not ask that question after 2 to 3 years, because you'll realize that the question is irrelevant. The answer to the question is just get going, practice, make it part of your lifestyle, and you will become successful at playing the instrument. Developing technique on the guitar requires dedication, and it requires a set practice methodology. And again, this is over a period of time. And I would say that whenever you develop technique on the instrument, it's not a bad idea to also take up something such as Alexander technique or some sort of practice that's going to help you with the relaxation side, especially if you work on speed guitar, sweep picking, or anything like that that is strenuous on your system. You also need to learn how to be relaxed during the process of developing the speed side of things. So truly, the only way to really develop speed or technique or solid virtuoso technique on the instrument is to actually put in the time. And again, it comes back to practice. You've got to put in the time in a regimented, set way every single day. I would say at least 4 days per week. 5 days per week would be better, even 6 days per week. You don't have to do 7 days per week. You can leave some time where you can do other things. I think, in fact, having a little break is not a bad idea. If you're super passionate, you can just go for it. But even then, it's good to have a little break. So I would say to really develop technique, it also helps again to work with a great guitar instructor or to get good instruction or material on the subject of developing technique. Of course, technique may mean different things to different people, but let us think now in terms of virtuoso guitar playing, sweep picking, fast legato playing, fast picking, the kind of things that, for example, Yngwie Malmsteen excels at. So to develop that type of technique, you need to have a long time frame, you need to be willing to work at it, and you should also have a journal and journalize your results. If you're a teenager, you've got plenty of hours at the instrument, you could just jam and become good at doing this. But as an adult learner, it's probably better for you to have a regimented practice and jot down your technique from time to time, have a smooth speed, have a rough speed, put it in the diary. The journal doesn't have to be complicated. It can be a piece of paper or a book that you come back to from time to time and you enter the results. So over time you can see the graph slowly moving upwards, which is what you want to see. But all of this is, for all of these things, the most important factor or the most important ingredient for you to look at is patience. You have to become patient. You have to roll out the carpet of time and let the time takes its time to help you to become good. Because if you stick at something long enough and you want it badly enough, and you get good education, and you look after your playing, and you do not just jump from channel to channel or video to video or trick to trick, but you've got a set, structured way of doing things over a long period of time, for your technique, for example, that is when you will get success. What do I call a long period of time? When it comes to technique, let's say that you're an intermediate guitarist, you really want to develop your speed playing, think 3 years, think 3 to 5 years. A lot of people get shocked when I say this, because people want to hear, think 1 week, think 2 days. We live in a society where people want to have everything tomorrow. And use that weakness of the others. So those people who want everything tomorrow, use that weakness to put out a long-term plan. Let them look for tomorrow. Let them jump from thing to thing to thing to thing. And you stick with this long-term plan, and then you're going to become successful. So have a great day ahead. I look forward to speaking to you again. Okay, bye-bye.